Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh's palace. They told Pharaoh, "You must let the Israelites go. God has commanded it. If you do not, God will send consequences." Pharaoh looked at Moses and Aaron and said, "No, I do not know your God." And then he made the Israelites work even harder. He was very cruel and wicked. God was not pleased. So he changed the Nile River from water into blood. Pharaoh did not care, and his heart was hardened. He said, "I will never let the Israelites go." Then God sent frogs to Egypt. They were sitting in chairs, hopping up on stairs, jumping all over the beds. Pharaoh said, "Take the frogs away, and then I'll let your people go." So God took the frogs away. But Pharaoh changed his mind and said, "No, I will not let your people go." God sent more plagues on Egypt. He sent pesky gnats, and then a frenzy of flies. Next, all the animals got sick. And then the Egyptians' skin broke out in sores and boils. Damaging hailstorms came, and a swarm of locusts ate all the crops. And then darkness covered the land. Sometimes Pharaoh said he would let the people go, but after God took away each plague, Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he changed his mind and said, "No, I will not listen and obey to the voice of the Lord." Pharaoh received one last message from Moses on behalf of God. God told Pharaoh, "If you do not let my people go, the firstborn son will die." Pharaoh refused to listen. So God kept his promise and sent the angel of death into the land. Pharaoh finally said, "Go now." So Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt. During the day, God went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud. During the night, God went ahead of them in a pillar of fire. God led the Israelites to the edge of the Red Sea. Pharaoh and his army were close behind. The Israelites did not know what to do. They screamed, "We're trapped! What have you done, Moses?" Moses responded, saying, "Do not be afraid. God will protect us." God's cloud came between the Israelites and Pharaoh's armies. They could not see anything. God told Moses, "Raise your staff over the sea." And then the Lord pushed back the sea to make a path of dry land. Moses and the Israelites followed the path through the sea and to the other side. But Pharaoh's army followed closely behind. Moses raised his staff again, and the sea swept away Pharaoh and his army. Moses and all the Israelites sang praises to God. They were free. They weren't slaves anymore. The Israelites traveled for many days. They became tired and hungry. They complained to Moses. They said, "There's nothing to eat in the desert. At least when we were slaves in Egypt, we had food. Now we are starving." God heard them complaining. They were not trusting in Moses or in God. That evening, God sent birds called quail for the Israelites to eat. The next morning, God sent bread from heaven. It was called manna, and it tasted like honey. The Israelites found the manna on the ground, but still they complained. We're so thirsty now. Moses asked God what to do. God said, hit that rock with your staff. And when Moses hit it, cool, fresh water gushed out for everyone to drink. While they were in the desert, the Israelites would not go hungry or thirsty again. God led the Israelites to a mountain. Thunder roared and lightning flashed. The people heard a loud trumpet blast. Then God called Moses to the top of the mountain and said, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt. And God wrote the 10 Commandments on 2 tablets of stone for all of his people to obey. The 10 Commandments are: God is the only true God. 2, never make idols. 3, never misuse the Lord's name. 4, rest on the Sabbath day. Keep it holy. 5, honor your father and your mother. 6, do not murder. 7, husbands and wives must not commit adultery. 8, do not steal. 9, do not tell lies. 10, never want what belongs to others. The Israelites needed a place to worship. God showed them exactly how to build a special tent called a tabernacle. God placed a cloud over the tent, and whenever the cloud moved, the Israelites packed up and followed.